In the 2014 election, southwestern Ontario featured some tight races and unexpected outcomes, including a number of ridings where the contests left the Liberals behind as the NDP and PCs battled for the win. This time around, let's find out how things have changed. Here's our Ontario Hub's copy editor, Adam McDowell. Adam, good to have you back in that chair.
Thank you.
Southwestern Ontario always used to feature some of the best three-way races among the three major parties. What's it looking like this time?
Well, that was true in 2014, and we had of the seven tightest three-way races, 5 of them were in southwestern Ontario. Things have changed this time because mainly the NDP's fortunes have improved, looking at the polls. This is a gradual change over the last several elections, over the last few years. The NDP have generally risen in the urban parts of southwestern Ontario, and the Liberals have correspondingly gone down. And so whereas there was an equilibrium that led to some interesting fights, now this time around, I think what we're going to see is largely a sea of PC blue with some little flecks of urban orange for the NDP, and very little to no Liberal ridings left. Well,
we know in the last election they basically got shot out of southwestern Ontario entirely around Windsor in that area there. So let's bring it a little closer to the 416, as we say, and we're going to take a look at 3 ridings in particular, all of which are traditionally very much in play, but let's see what the story is this time. Kitchener-Waterloo area. Let's start with that riding there. What are you hearing?
Sure, yeah, so the former riding of Kitchener-Waterloo is now just known as Waterloo. That was, Elizabeth Whitmer held that for a long time for the PCs. Then they had a by-election when she quit politics in 2012. It didn't go Liberal, it went all the way left to the NDP. Catherine Fife was a school trustee, and she picked that up for the NDP. Part of this movement I've been talking about where they've been picking up ridings. And Catherine Fife is running in the new riding of Waterloo. She's the incumbent, and I mean, based on everything that we're seeing, I think she'll hold on to that.
I'm calling you on something right now. We don't say incumbent in Canada. We say former sitting member.
Okay.
Incumbent's an American term. That's my little on-poly nerd moment for the day. Okay, that's Waterloo riding, the renamed Waterloo riding. Let's continue on. Kitchener Centre. The Cabinet Minister, Diane Verneil, representing that riding in the previous Parliament. How's it looking now?
Well, she won that by quite a lot. That was 43 to 27, I think, to the nearest challenger was from the PCs in 2014. So if the Liberals can hold on to any urban riding in the 519, it should be this. But based on what I'm hearing and seeing in the polls, and just, I mean, hearing from people anecdotally, I don't know that that's going to happen. They could flip over to the NDP.
If it's the debacle that many pollsters are forecasting at the moment, although pollsters shouldn't forecast, but if it goes the way that many say, that's right. This is another one of those seats that the Liberals are going to lose this time around, although 2 weeks to go. Let's hasten to say, a little under 2 weeks to go. One more riding here, Kitchener-Conestoga. What are you hearing?
Well, that's that went to the Tories last time around, and I think they're likely going to hold it. Now, to remind everybody, that was Michael Harris won that riding last time around. He is not running for the PCs again because of a communication incident with an intern. So he's been replaced by Mike Harris Jr. No relation. That riding is a mix of a little chunk of urban Kitchener, but it's also largely rural. We've got Wilmot, Wellesley, and another W, escapes me at the moment in there. Woolwich, there we go, are all part of Kitchener-Conestoga. I think the Tories will hold on to it, but the close second finishers in 2014 were the Liberals. I would watch for that to be the NDP this time around.
NDP as opposed to Tory?
NDP as opposed to Liberal for the second place. So I think that'll be like a Tory hold, but I think the NDP will be moving in a position to be their challengers from sort of here in the next couple of elections.
And we should say that the Mike Harris Jr., who is contesting this seat for the Conservatives, is the son of the former Premier.
That's right.
Who, if he wins, will be the third Michael Harris to be represented in the Ontario Legislature.
A lot of Michael Harrises to keep track of.
Yes, there are indeed. All right, as you look at the region as a whole, I mean, if you're a Liberal knocking on doors right now, what do you do?
You know, it's hard to say. I mean, I think the problem for them is, the challenge for them is that the traditional constituency, the sort of young, urban, educated people who would formerly have been attracted to the Liberals, what I'm hearing from people is that a lot of them just want to keep Doug Ford from being the Premier, and so they're shifting that vote over to the NDP. And that adds to just the fact that the NDP have been growing little by little over the past few elections in the region, and they're becoming sort of a default left-of-center choice. I don't know if there may be local issues in some places where the Liberals can really kind of get ahead of the NDP on something, but I think for this time around, it's looking pretty dire. There was an Ipsos poll that came out on Tuesday, and it showed in southwestern Ontario, the NDP ahead with 43% of decided voters, PC's in the middle somewhere with 35, and the the Liberal Party down at 15. That's a very tough thing for them.
Conversely, we saw Doug Ford on a farm the other day, in farm country. He is still, I would suggest, pretty popular in rural Ontario, particularly in parts of southwestern Ontario.
Yeah, and we should keep that in mind when we're talking about southwestern Ontario in general, is that I think the dozen or so strictly rural ridings, I think, are pretty safe for the Tories. I mean, depending on what happens over the next couple of weeks, but that's what the projections have been showing so far, and I don't see any reason, I don't see where people would go from there. So.
Gotcha. You got more on tvo.org all about this?
That's right.
We can read your article on the website. That's Adam McDowell, our Ontario Hub's copy editor. Thanks, Adam.
Thank you.
The Agenda with Steve Bacon is brought to you by the Chartered Professional Accountants of Ontario, helping businesses stay on the right side of change with strategic thinking, insightful decisions, and business leadership. Are you on the right side of change? Ask an Ontario CPA.